Glenn Clark Radio, talking about the sports you do and don't know, both within and surrounding Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no, stuff and things in Griffin, Basallo. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio, Glenn Clark Radio, Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
11th major league start and trying to win his first ever big league game.
What a way this would be to get your first. A little ground ball. Young bare hand. Young throws it wide. Arias will dash to second.
I thought we were starting something. This is the remember when we compared and said, "Hey, how are we going to start the show?" And I said, "Why don't we start with Basallo's first major league hit?"
Oh wow, we did say that.
Yeah.
Man, I totally.
Now, in fairness,
I did botch that. I botched that. I botched that. I'll admit to that one. I'll admit to that one. No, it's one botch, and I'm down for a smelling salad. You know.
All right, first to three botches.
Okay.
It's the smelling salt. I don't even know how to do it.
You just crack. Well, you don't want to crack it like right in front of your face, but you want to.
But do you have to open the packet?
No, don't open the packet.
Okay, all right.
Do not open the packet. Definitely
All
don't do that.
Hi, good morning.
I think anyone's gonna die, but don't do that.
It's some of Glenn Clark Radio, and the reason I say some of is because you're getting about 43% of my voice today. I'm already one tea and a lot of lozenges, and I'm already defaulting back to my Scotty Farrell. Scotty on the bench, Farrell on the bench. What's going on, Lunchbox?
It is a pretty spot.
Dude, it's about when my voice is like this, it is Scott Farrell. Sometimes I think it's Macy Gray. Sometimes I try to say goodbye, but it's not. It's Scott Farrell. It's Scotty Farrell. Scotty Farrell on the bench. Why don't you line up those lines? Sometimes I worry that it's Alex Jones, right? Like, they're turning the frogs gay. But, like, it's
not quite that.
It's not. His is deeper. Mine is Scotty Farrell. It's what it is. I don't even know Scott. Like, of all the people in this business, I've never come across him anywhere. We've never had an interaction once. But when I'm going through it, I'm him. So I apologize for that, but it's good to be here. And we got a lot to do on the program today. Mike Mayock's going to join us in a little bit. He visited the Ravens recently, former Raiders GM, of course, longtime NFL draft analyst. We will chat with Mike Mayock about what he saw from the Ravens, what he's interested in. Also, it's a big day for Mike's. We're doing Mike and Mike today, which is a hell of an idea that we should trademark and run with. Mike and Mike. Maybe make it like a radio show. I don't know how you would feel about that, but I think it would work. Mike Bordick will join the program as well a little bit later on this morning to talk some Orioles. Today's show, good morning, Zach Moore. Hope everybody caught the bat around last night with Paul and Zach. Always good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you hanging with us. It was a fun weekend. We see up on the board Brandon Young and Dean Kramer. Yes, you know what happened on Friday night. We already shared it. Little out of order this morning. That's the way that it goes.
I think, just deep down, I knew that's what we should have led with. Even though I did suggest Basallo.
Yeah, you did. You did. And then you played something else. Brandon Young, it just hurt. It just hurt, dude. Like, you hurt for him. Like,
but it's weird because you also feel really good.
Yeah,
right?
but it's one start, right? Like,
yeah.
It's sort of a weird bit where I have no idea if that means anything at all. Like, I have no clue. If we take anything from the fact that Brandon Young nearly threw a perfect game. He also had an immaculate inning earlier this year, right? Like, could you imagine? It's the most random year in baseball history if Brandon Young had been the guy that had an immaculate inning and a perfect game. I mean, what a bizarre world we'd be living in. I hope that it means something. I hope that there's a carryover effect. I hope that Brandon Young is becoming a high-level pitcher, but do I think any of those things are true today? No. I think he had a really incredible start against the Astros. And so we'll see. He'll get more. That's all I can say right now. It's weird. But you could feel what he was feeling. I remember I was texting with Luke Jackson on Friday night about it. They put up on the screen like the deepest that an Orioles pitcher has carried a perfect game. And they brought up the two where Mike Messina had gone at least 7 2/3. And I remember staying up for both of those when I was a kid, and I was heartbroken. I mean, I cried because that was Mike Messina. This is an anomaly more than anything else as of right now, until proven otherwise. And you could sense when they cut to him after he came out of the game that Brandon Young probably recognizes that. And that feeling of like, I don't know that I'm ever going to have a chance like this again sets in. Now, hopefully as a competitor, you believe, like, I have the stuff, I can do it, I could be back here and in this position again.
Right. Well, I mean, it's like Jacob deGrom had a perfect game against the Orioles for 6 innings, and it was like even him, who it's not a fluke. With
not at all.
deGrom, it was like you could also sense that he,
Well, yeah, you just never know when you're going to have that opportunity. And yes, Jacob deGrom probably will have more opportunities. Brandon Young, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to have more of those opportunities. There was like a minimal amount of controversy about whether or not it should have been ruled a hit. Yeah, I mean, they got it right, but they got it right in that way that, like, there's a small part of you that kind of wishes that they didn't get it right. Like, I can't argue about it. Yes, if he makes an exceptional throw, he's got a shot at getting Ramon Arias. And the irony that it's Ramon Arias. But the standard for hit versus error isn't exceptional. So they got it right. They did. That's a hit. It's hurtful, but it's a hit. It's not an error. Who was it that tried to bunt their way on like an inning earlier that people were getting worked up about?
That was annoying. But
nope, you're not. You're trying to win a game. Nonsense. Trying to win a game, you will never. This thing where you don't want the other team to try. No hitters, perfect games are really hard because sometimes that happens. You're not expecting it, and they bunt. That could happen in the first inning. Stop it. There is no obligation to help you get a no-hitter or a perfect game. None. Zero. And somebody said, hey, well, if it was a 7-0 game in the 9th inning, I get it. Like, there's a line at which it becomes kind of like an honorable thing to say. But still, even then, that's baseball, man. That stuff infuriates me.
It was Taylor Trammell in the 6th to lead off the 6th inning. Yeah. And they made the play.
Yes, Zach, I did. I raised my voice a bit this weekend. That did happen. Raised a little hell this weekend. I figured we were going to lead with the most important sports story of the weekend, Griffin.
The
Can Jam champions.
Oh, okay.
Can Jam champions.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't have my best stuff that day. So
Mr. Gatsby and I. Who's your partner?
Alex. I believe you said you call him McLovin?
We do call him McLovin.
I never got the background.
Wait, it looks like McLovin. It's not that hard. I mean, he's in his 40s now, so he might not look like McLovin anymore. Like when he was in his 20s, he definitely looked like McLovin. How'd you guys do? Did we play you?
Bad. Yeah, we played you first round. We played you.
Griffin.
We got the bad draw because we got you first round and then we got Proctor the second.
Oh
round.
boy, that's rough.
And so
That
we
is a
went 0-2.
rough. Oh, that is a quick
Yeah, we
exit.
went 0-2.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Can I be honest?
Proctor slotted one on us too.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, it was awful.
I heard my cousin slotted one.
I came close to slotting one against John.
Oh.
And missed. Yeah, it was a bummer.
I was unaware that we had won the tournament. Completely. Your boy did a little alcohol this weekend. Just had a bit of a weekend.
Congratulations. Hey, it was a great time. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Oh man, couldn't have had more fun. That I remember. Griffin still didn't play Slip Cup because he's a jerk.
It's not my game.
It could be.
Clearly
you don't know.
Can Jam's not my game either.
Yeah, you went 0-2 in Can Jam. I'm not sure. But apparently we went unbeaten. We rolled through the tournament. I do not remember that. But hey, man, rock and roll. As my cousin explained to me, he's like, dude, you were throwing darts all day. I'm like, I believe you.
Throwing darts.
But I don't remember. I don't remember any of it.
So now your Can Jam game got better as...
Hey, brother, we've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all been there. Had a great time. Thanks to everybody who came up. Couldn't have had more fun. So I had some listener. Rashawn came up. That was dope. And Dustin, who didn't get any fights with anybody. Unlike every one of Rashawn's videos that he posts where I see Dustin getting into fight with somebody. There were no fights. I said that to him. Like, dude, is that a bit? Or do you, like, actually... and then Chef Keith came up. That was dope.
I missed Keith.
Oh, man, that was really cool. It was really cool to see Keith. And a lot of folks came up this week. I'm going to forget a lot of them, and some of them I probably even forget seeing at all. So it's just kind of what it is. But had a wonderful time. Sam, did you have fun at the pig roast?
Why not?
Why not? That's what he has to say. Sam, you can't. I told you had to read that book until 11:20 or 11:30. You can't get back on my phone.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, that was close.
That was very close.
That was close.
I was hovering over the dump.
You
button.
better be careful over there, kid.
You're gonna owe an FCC fine, pal.
I don't know what's going on right now, but like somehow Sam got a 4-day. No. Somehow Sam got a 4-day weekend. I don't know what's happening in the world. Last night my wife's like, "Hey, you got Sam tomorrow, right?" I'm like, "What? What is going on here?"
You're like, I'm so lucky.
This kid's got to go to work. We got to get him a job, man. What the heck is happening?
You want to learn how to make TikToks?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's time.
The
All right. He just wants attention. Other Orioles highlights from the weekend, as it's not only about my Can Jam performance, but it should be. Did you get some highlights from that?
I did not.
Of course, Dylan Beavers and Samuel Basallo. What are we doing?
I'm playing the Basallo.
No, I mean on like his name.
Oh, Samuel Basallo.
But that's not what everybody was saying over the weekend.
He's listed. It's interesting in the fantasy pool, like the player universe. He's listed as just Sam Basallo.
We got to get to the bottom of this. We got to get to the bottom of the names.
I go off how Pete Mishu says it. So.
I know, but that's not how all the Orioles broadcasters were saying it this weekend. Anyway, Samuel Basallo gets his.
How did they say it?
I heard Samuel Basallo. What else did I hear? I heard something else. I don't remember. I don't remember. But there was a lot going on.
I mean, there's no if there's not an actual accent over it, I guess. So
yeah. Anyway, he gets his first major league hit yesterday. Of course, Dylan.
Masson.
Yeah, thank you to Masson. And then Dylan Beavers got his first major league hit on Saturday night. The only one the Orioles lost this weekend, and ironically, the one where they had multiple chances to just score one run with a ghost runner on second base and couldn't do it. It's very frustrating.
It was
very, very frustrating after a spirited rally to force extra innings. Could not get the job done, so the Orioles still take 2 out of 3 on the road in Houston. Would the Orioles have won the AL West this season?
I think. Well, not against the A's, but yeah,
that's
against
true.
Everyone else,
yeah.
they do.
So weird.
They do play well against.
So weird. Congratulations, Brandon Young, of course, for his performance on Friday, and then all the offense in both Friday and yesterday. You feel bad. Like Jordan Westbrook has a career day, and I'm like, I'm really not going to make Dean Kramer man of the match. Like, really?
I would have been okay with it.
I mean,
I guess
he threw what, 8 shutout innings?
8. Well, 8. No, 7.
was 7 yesterday?
Yeah, 7 yesterday. 8 was
the previous start.
Innings,
My God, man. What am I do? Not make a man of the match? Come on, dog. It was 114 pitches.
So it's for most, tidbit teaser, most since July of 2012 by an Orioles pitcher. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's pretty impressive. So there you go. Those are the 2 men of the match from the weekend as the Orioles take 2 out of 3 in Houston.
All right, so their rotation set next year.
Yeah, right. Everything's solved.
Povich struck out 10.
Everything's fine. Yeah, right. Zach points out Chase McDermott's been pitching well out of the bullpen, so there's that. All right, now, interesting comments from Jordan Westburg this weekend. This comes from Jacob Calvin Meyer of the Baltimore Sun. He says, look, Jordan Westburg says to reporters, and I write about how there's sort of this weird moment. It's awkward how we get here, but the truth is with the arrival of Basallo and Beavers, this is the fruition, player-wise, of tanking and the rebuild. This is the whole of the picture, save for Heston Kjerstad, who I don't know whether he's ever going to return to the picture. I'm writing about it today for PressBoxOnline.com. It comes at a weird moment because of the Orioles' struggles. But this is the thing. What you were promised from tanking and the rebuild was that you'd ultimately have a team of talented, homegrown, young, potential stars that you could win with for a period of time. It's just a weird path to getting here because you really got here on the backs of a little bit of those guys, but a lot of holdovers from the Dan Duquette regime. Now you're here. This is that those guys are gone. The Duquette era survivors, they're gone. This is now the fruition of the rebuild. And I get it, Basallo was an international signing. He wasn't a tanking draft pick, but we've just associated him with that group because he came along in the midst of that. Dylan Beavers was part of the last tanking draft, right? The same draft that got you Jackson Holiday. So this is the end of the tanking era. Actually, they took somebody else early in that draft, and I can't remember who it was. But
was the
Max Wagner, I think, was an early pick in that draft. So I don't know if Max Wagner is going to be a part of the story or not. But this is the end of the line for that group. And now the core 5 that we've talked about that have been here for a while becomes sort of more the core 8 because you add in Mayo, Basallo, and now Beavers. 8 of your 9 positions are now filled by not every night, but the regulars, homegrown talent that came through drafted or international signing and developed by the Orioles. It's a really interesting moment. And it's intriguing in a lot of ways, right? Like, it's exciting to see what this group does. It's just awkward because after the success they found, this moment isn't supposed to arrive while they're 10 games under 500. That's not the way this is supposed to be. These last, fortifications were supposed to come for a team that was competing for a championship. But it's here, this is the group. Jordan Westburg was kind of asked about that after the game. Like, this is the group, right? Like, it's all kind of together. And he had this really interesting response. And I'll read it from Jacob Calvin Meyer. Look, if we want to force the front office's hand or force things to happen in this organization, we've got to prove that we're able to play winning baseball. That's very important to this clubhouse. That's very important to me. I hate losing, and I don't care what the clubhouse looks like or what the record looks like, who we're facing. My one goal when we step on the field is to play winning baseball any way I possibly can. Some days that doesn't work out, right? That's baseball. But I think in saying that, the majority of guys, if not everybody in this clubhouse, feels the same way. Since June, we've got a winning record, playing some good ball. We've played 2 really good series, and it's important for us to keep stacking these together, or those together, to keep remembering that, this doesn't happen this year, but we're playing for the future. We've made a lot about what is there to watch. And that's what makes this so interesting, is this now core 8 is going to define how good the Orioles can be. For what it's worth, while there's excitement about Beavers and Basallo and some of these other, it was still a really awful week for Adley Rutschman and Kobe Mayo. We'll get back to that. 3 up, 3 down. You don't need all of these guys to be high-level baseball players next year in order for the Orioles to get back, but you need the majority of them. You need 4 to 5 of them to be high-level baseball players. Right now, 2 of them are. Gunnar Henderson's a high-level baseball player. He hasn't had a perfect season. Obviously, he struggled with the power specifically.
He's good at hitting with runners and scoring.
No doubt about that. And look, he's still a very good baseball player. He's definitively a high-level Major League Baseball player. Jordan Westburg, when healthy, is a high level. Not a superstar, not a Gunnar Henderson, not a game changer, but he's a high-level Major League Baseball player when he's healthy. That's 2. The rest of the group has to join them somehow, or some of this group. This is the group. They obviously need to bring in at least one outside bat. Tyler O'Neill's going to have to be a part of it, like it or not. They're going to need to bring in one outside bat. Will that be a center fielder? It was interesting to see that we finally saw Colton Cowser play center field after they had said previously they didn't intend to do that. What's that going to look like? They've suggested that they want Dylan Beavers in right field, but then we saw him in left field with Cowser in center. So we'll see how they handle that moving forward. But it is interesting to me, who of the rest of this group, the guys that have already been here and shown flashes. Adley Rutschman, it was more than flashes. He showed consistency for years before falling apart. Colton Cowser showed a flash. Jackson Holliday has shown some flashes, but he still has a sub-700 OPS. And then this group of 3 guys that's gotten more playing time, Kobe Mayo, and then the next 2 that just arrived, Basallo and Beavers. Who of that group can join Henderson and Westburg as being high-level Major League Baseball players to give this team a chance to compete for championships again starting next year? That's what will be compelling as we watch this group of young players moving forward. Talking baseball later on this afternoon. Of course, former Orioles pitcher Ross Grimsley joins Stan and Luke. You can check that out, facebook.com/PressBoxSports at 5:15. It's always brought to you by the Costas Inn and the brand new Costas Inn, now open in Timonium at the racetrack. Joining us now here on GCR, we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk some football. This man was just out in Owings Mills not too long ago checking out the Ravens. He is, of course, someone that we've all watched on TV for a long time, the former general manager of the Raiders. He's been with Westwood One more recently. It's a pleasure to welcome back into the program Mike Mayock, who is with us this morning here on GCR. Mike, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you so much for taking the time for us.
Yeah, my pleasure. How you doing, Glenn?
Everything is good, Mike. I know because you're so connected. I never know when you go out to do a visit like this. Is this just about, seeing some friends for you, or are you there really trying to learn something about the Ravens?
I think it's a kind of cool combination at this time in my life that it's both.
Okay.
And, one of my favorite things last week being out there, or the week before, for that Indianapolis joint practice was John Harbaugh used to live down the street from me in Philly. Eric DeCosta is one of my best friends in the National Football League. And Ozzie Newsome is somebody I've treasured for years.
Yeah.
I think my first tackle in the NFL in a preseason game was against Ozzie kind of at the end of his career. And I went over and just kind of shook his hand and hung out with him for 10 or 15 minutes and laughed and giggled about some things. So on the one hand, it's personal and highly enjoyable. On the other hand, I have an incredible respect for the entire organization, starting with Steve Bisciotti. And I think along with 3 or 4 other franchises in the NFL, they're really the top of the league. And I learn when I go there. I learn about their organization, their structure, and also, some of the new faces and what I think I'm going to see this year.
I want to follow up on that if I could, because there was a piece this week I believe it was in the Ringer from Deontay Lee about how the Ravens are kind of the defining franchise of this quarter century, as everybody's doing their quarter century marks of the NFL. because of their remarkable consistency and the way they've evolved over the course of that 25 years. What do you make of that argument that, like, they, as far as an organization or a franchise goes, that they may be the most defining of this 25-year period?
You could easily make that argument, and I think on a yearly basis, I always say they're one of the 2 or 3 model franchises. I had one of the best head coaches in the history of the NFL, and I were having a conversation about, 10 or 15 years ago. And I said, how many teams do you worry about on an annual basis? He said, I don't know, 6 or 7 max. And I said, why so few? He said, the other 25 will eliminate themselves. And I took a step back and I thought, wow, what teams don't eliminate themselves? This is when I was a GM with the Raiders. I mean, that was on a daily basis one of my mantras, and we still eliminated ourselves. So the bottom line is, when you look at their consistency, it didn't matter whether it was Ozzie and Billick or Ozzie and Harbaugh or then DaCosta and Harbaugh. At the end of the day, the consistency at GM and head coach and the owner providing them the resources necessary and getting out of the way when necessary to allow them to do their job. It sounds simple, but a high percentage of the league, especially among the ownership group, has no idea what consistency at the high level means in this league.
He is Mike Mayock. He's with us here on GCR, and it's really well said. It reminds me of, I'm sure your friend as well, my friend Brian Billick, when he left and he had opportunities, he would say constantly, I'm not taking these jobs. And I would say, why not? He said, I know how good I had it. I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I know it's not any good. And so we can't take that for granted in Baltimore. They want to win Super Bowls here, but we can't take it for granted. Mike, I wonder what you make of what the Ravens have been through specifically, and for as good as they've been, not being able to get over the hump in the playoffs. And again, we don't take it for granted. We know that it's better to be in this situation, but are you of the belief that it is just as simple as you keep putting yourself in that position, a la Peyton Manning once upon a time? At some point, you're going to bust down the door, you're going to win a Super Bowl? Or how might this affect an organization going through these frustrations?
Yeah, I mean, I think you do have to keep putting yourself in that position, and I think the Ravens do. I think there are certain times in NFL history where you look at teams that are up against something really extraordinary. And sometimes they break through, and sometimes they don't. And, of course, I'm talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, they've been, what, 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls, maybe on the AFC side?
Yeah.
And Cincinnati, the only one that got there besides Kansas City. So what you're really looking at is one of the most extraordinary franchises in the history of the NFL. At the same time, the Ravens are trying to kick down that door. If you look at Kansas City, Andy Reid's a Hall of Fame coach. Their quarterback is a Hall of Fame quarterback. Their defensive coordinator, even though he didn't have the numbers as a head coach, Steve Spagnuolo is a Hall of Fame defensive coordinator. I mean, that's a special organization, and I'm blown away by what they've done in the last 6 years. And it's watching Cincinnati, watching Baltimore, and watching Buffalo try to kick the door down. I think every year is the most intriguing storyline in the NFL.
It's very, very difficult for this group. And to your point, the Chiefs are a monster. Mike, when I ask this question, do they have the team to finally do it? On paper, it seems like they do. It's really hard to poke holes just about anywhere on this Ravens roster right now.
It is. I think, like usual, I think DaCosta did a great job on the personnel side. If you look at all the numbers from last year, the numbers are crazy. I mean, offensively, they were number 1 in offense, number 3 in points. They were number 1 in the red zone. All the important things, they were in the top 3. Defensively, they were a top 10 unit in most categories, but 31 in pass defense.
Mm-hmm.
And what do? You go out and you draft Malachi Starks, first of all, who I think is rare. Loved him at Georgia. The only reason he went so late in the first round was because of the position he played. You sign Awuzie. You sign Jair Alexander. Your second-round pick affects the pass game. Mike Green.
Yep.
And I watched the first half. I watched the first half of the tape from your preseason game the other day. And Mike Green, what impressed me about Mike Green was not the pass rush, which was good. It was his toughness against the run, his ability to lock out tight ends, his physicality. So he can play on 3 downs. Their front, I mean, Travis Jones is going to be a monster, I believe. And that the depth of the front is really impressive. And I think defensively, they're going to be really good. Offensively, you know who they are. And what it really comes down to is being healthy in the playoffs. And somebody's going to have to outplay Patrick Mahomes in that group to get to the Super Bowl. That's just what it's been. So if you look at the top 4 quarterbacks in the NFL, I think we all know who they are. And they're all in the AFC at the height of their careers. So when you get in the playoffs, it's who plays the best at that time. And that's really the challenge for Baltimore. And sometimes I think Buffalo feels the same pressure. Cincinnati feels that all 3 of those teams feel the same pressure to somehow scale that mountain that Kansas City seems to own.
Mike, can I ask you this question? And you might have already spoken about it somewhere, but if you were still running a team when Derrick Henry became a free agent, would you have invested in a 30-plus-year-old running back, or would you have said, no, I don't care how good he is, that's just not a wise investment? And I say this acknowledging I was the idiot on the radio that was saying I don't know if it's a smart way to spend money at this point, and boy, have I felt very stupid about that.
Well, you're talking to a guy who drafted Josh Jacobs in the first round.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
And a lot of people don't believe in drafting running backs in the first round, and we felt like he was a very special player. He was young. When I evaluated his last year of tape, he was 20 years old. He wasn't even the sole starter. He shared the position, so there wasn't a lot of tread on the tires. So for me, all the arguments against the running back thing went away with Josh. And as far as Derek last year, prior to free agency, sometimes there's a herd mentality in the NFL. And the whole thing about running backs, you can't pay him, and all the public perception about why you can't pay him. And you can get good running backs in the 4th, 5th, 6th round, but can you get game changers there? Can you get guys that can dominate a 4th quarter and run out the clock? Derrick Henry is one of those guys. And I think DaCosta is one of the smartest GMs in the league. And, if you look at the 2 teams that ran the ball best in the NFL last year, it was the Ravens and the team that won the Super Bowl, the Eagles.
It's amazing how that worked. And by the way, Josh Jacobs worked out okay for somebody too, right? Like that was a guy I really wanted here. I think we're very good friends with Chad Wiesling, so like I was kind of rooting for him to bring him home. That would have been cool, but it's worked out so well with Derrick Henry. I remember you being bullish leading up to Lamar getting drafted, Mike. I remember you were very clear, and you never wavered about your belief. Did you know that he could be this then, though? Did you have any inkling that this was he's basically locked up the words future Hall of Famer. I mean, he's a 2-time, should have been 3-time MVP. Did you have any idea that he could be this as bullish as you were?
Well, I'm not sure you can sit here and say I knew he was going to be a Hall of Famer. For sure I didn't. A couple things. I was at his pro day, and I remember a lot of people were trying to turn him into a running back or a wideout, and I couldn't believe that. I just thought he was a playmaker with the ball in his hands. And did he need to develop as a pocket quarterback? He did. But he had the tools to do that and the ability to extend plays in the meantime. So I was a big believer. And at his pro day, people wanted him – I don't know if you remember this, Glenn, but everybody wanted him to run a 40, and he decided not to.
Yep.
And I had to interview him. I was at NFL Network then. I had to interview him after his workout. And I told him before we started the interview, I just said, hey, I know why you didn't run the 40, but that's going to be my first question, and knock it out of the park. I want you to have fun with it because a lot of people don't get you. And he just smiled and laughed, and he was like, yeah, thank you. And so I asked him that, and, the answer was, why didn't you run a 40? The answer was because I'm a friggin' quarterback. I'm not a running back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a wide out, and I'm not going to give people the numbers to justify trying to move me. The answer really is he's as fast as he needs to be. And when that monster came out in Washington last year, Dayton Daniels, and I watched his college tape, my overview of him was basically in my conclusion to the report I wrote was he's going to be just as dangerous as Lamar Jackson as a runner, and he's a little bit more advanced as a passer coming out. So watch out. I just thought Lamar had a chance to be special, and I felt the same way about Jaden.
Yeah, Jaden, that kid can play, man. He is unbelievable. And obviously he was a little bit older than Lamar coming out, so he had that advantage. But boy, he is so polished so quickly. Mike Mayock,
Yep.
Is there anything we can plug for you? Anything you're up to? I know you're a frequent guest on a podcast hosted by someone that you like a lot.
You talking about my daughter?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, your daughter.
Yeah, we do. Lee does a podcast. It's her podcast. It's called Believe in Eagles, and Lee Mayock does a great job with it. So if you get a chance to tune into that, do it. And there's one other thing, Glenn, that's interesting, and the NFL is going this way. And that everybody talks about analytics, but where it's really going is kind of artificial intelligence. And there's a group out there called Sumer Sports that's working as a consultant for different NFL and colleges, and I write scouting reports for them on the football side. But listen to this. I was blown away a couple of weeks ago when one of their people sent me a case study they're working on. Their AI thing is called the Sumer Brain, and they asked the Sumer, based on Tampa Bay's last 4 regular season games from a year ago, draw up a game plan offensively for we want to know everything about their defensive front coverages, success on first through third down, run versus this whole thing that would take 2 quality control assistants 2 16-hour days to get done just a couple of years ago, and it spit it out in 90 seconds.
Well, that is
90. This is, just for your listeners, it kind of tells you where the league is going. Nobody really knows how to do it real well yet. These Sumer guys are pretty brilliant. They put a lot of money into it, and it still needs to be fact-checked and cross-checked a little bit, but it's going to give some teams better efficiency as they game plan. It's kind of crazy.
Are we going to learn that when you have Lamar Jackson, you should never be punting or kicking field goals? Is that what we're going to learn from the work that Sumer Sports is doing?
There was a high school coach who was famous.
Right. Just never. Right.
Never. He was on the -5 yard line, 4th and 8. He was going for it. And apparently he was like a Hall of Fame high school guy. So it's really intriguing, Glenn.
It's Sumer Sports with 1 M, and actually we've been doing a little bit with them. That's really cool, Mike. I'm glad you're involved, and it's an amazing site. If you guys haven't checked it out, SUMER, Sumer Sports with 1M.com is the website where you can find it. Mike Mayock, this was great, man. We really enjoyed this. We'd love to do this again as we get into the season if you'd be up for that. Thank you for spending some time with us this morning. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Hope you have a great day, Glenn.
Thanks, Mike. Mike Mayock. Appreciate him taking the time for us. Fascinating stuff. And yeah, Mike Mayock really was bullish about Lamar, but even he has to say, I didn't know it was this. Good morning, John in Little Rock. Appreciate you checking in as well. So celebrating the good Orioles play, not dwelling on the season as a totality. Enjoy the rest of the season and be happy that they are playing well right now, especially as they carry this mojo into 2026. I hope so. But I specifically need to see it from this group that we're talking about. I need to end the year feeling like more of this core 8 is in place to thrive next year. Whether that's a big push from Jackson Holliday down the stretch this season, whether that's Colton Cowser showing you those signs, like, whatever it is, more of this core. These are the guys. This is the group. This is the offense. I just need more of these guys to look like high-level Major League Baseball players. That's what I'm looking for. We got to get a break. Then we'll talk to Mike Bordick. We'll do that next as we continue along a Monday edition of Glenn Clark Radio. Feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself? It could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, we specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Our treatments, including testosterone cypionate, are safe, natural, and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Get started today with a free testosterone test and feel the difference. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health, where men reclaim their game.
For fans of the Costas Inn, and who isn't, I have some great news. Now there's a second location to go along with 4100 North Point Boulevard. This one is at the Timonium OTB. This is Stan the Fan, and I have been a fan of the Costas Inn and Triantafalo's family for going on 30 years. They're open for lunch and dinner, same great Costas feel, same great menu and quality food you've been enjoying for well over 50 years. The exact address on your GPS is 2200 York Road, and their phone number at the new location is 667-406-1975. If you're new to the Costas experience, get ready for a real treat. All wrapped up in a new spacious dining room in Timonium at the OTB. If you want steamed crabs, you have them, and the full menu at 4100 North Point Boulevard. The number for reservations there at Costas, 410-477-1975.
This August, the PGA Tour's best are coming to Maryland. The 2025 BMW Championship tees off August 12th through 17th at Caves Valley Golf Club in Owings Mills. See the top 50 players battle it out in the penultimate event of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Don't miss your chance to witness world-class golf, fan experiences, and unforgettable moments. Tickets are on sale now at BMWChampionship.com. The BMW Championship, where legends take the lead.
This August, give your game day an upgrade at Live Casino. Enter to win an ultimate football package. We're giving away over $50,000 in game-changing prizes on Friday, August 29th. Earn entries daily for your chance to score a 100-inch TV, a state-of-the-art soundbar, and so much more. Don't sit on the sidelines. Make your play at Live Casino at Erndale Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
Maryland 5-Star returns this October to Fair Hill up in Cecil County. It's the 5th edition of the Maryland 5-Star. So use that number 5, Maryland5star.us, in order to get your tickets. If you haven't been, you're missing out. It's not just a world-class sporting event, the Triple Crown of Equestrian, but it's also a celebration of fall here in the state of Maryland. Love the Maryland 5-Star. I've gone now three of the first 4 years. It's awesome. Everything about it is great. You're going to want to check it out, Maryland5star.us with the number 5. Let's get back into some Orioles conversation this morning. Been a bit too long since we caught up with this guy, 105.7 The Fan, the Baltimore Baseball Podcast. He is our buddy, Orioles Hall of Famer, Mr. Mike Bordick, and he's back with us now here on GCR. Bordy, what's going on, brother? How's your summer been?
Hey, all right, man. Good to hear from you.
It's been too long. Been too long. I know you've been out working. Bordy like runs camps every day. Like, I mean, do you get like a vacation at all during the course of the summer?
That is my vacation, man. Come on, are you kidding me? Get to hang out, play baseball with a bunch of kids? Really?
That's a good point.
I mean, it's a dream come true.
That is awesome, man. That is awesome. It's an interesting time, right, with the Orioles. Mike, I clearly they're not going to end up back in the conversation. But now that everybody's here, now that Samuel Basallo's here and Dylan Beavers here, they've been playing some decent baseball. It is an intriguing time to watch this group try to lay the foundation for getting back into the picture next year. Are you confident that they have a group that the core is there still to compete to win a World Series if they make the right moves in the offseason?
Well, I mean, I think they do have a nice group of position players. They really do. Of course, headed by Gunnar Henderson. I think, listen, man, the verdict's still out on a lot of these guys. I mean, they're all still so young. Jackson Holliday has had a sensational season, but is he really going to be the leadoff hitter of the future? His on-base percentage is barely 300, if that. I mean, he's done some incredible things. Is Adley Rutschman, is he really going to be the catcher of the future? His offensive game has really struggled for well over a year now. I mean, it's good to have him back in the lineup, and I think he makes a difference defensively for this team because they've had so many incredible injuries. But, yeah, that's a question mark. Is Mayo really going to be the future at first base? Is he showing enough over there? So hopefully, the next month and a half gives a pretty good indication and a true evaluation of, what to expect, I think, and what the Orioles actually need to go out and do to make this team a contending team. Now, I know they have been playing well, so that's really good to see, and it'd be nice if all these young guys got used to winning collectively. But, yeah, they still need to make a lot of moves in the off season to make sure they can, stay competitive. And hopefully they've created some depth, enough depth to where, you can start talking about sustainable success, which I thought was supposed to be the priority from jump, but a little bit of a setback here this year with the amount of injuries and just the way the season's played out.
Bordy, you alluded to something that I brought up earlier, which is if we look at this kind of core group of 8, homegrown players that are now all here, Gunnar, Adley, Jordan, Jackson Holliday, Colton Cowser, Kobe Mayo, and now Basallo and Beavers, my gut tells me, because this is the group, right? Like, they're going to be getting the opportunities that you need 4 or 5 of those guys to definitively be high-level Major League Baseball players. And as you brought up at the moment, I think 2 of them are definitively high-level Major League Baseball players, and Gunnar and Jordan Westberg. Like, that's, to me, like, what's interesting in the next couple months is who from that group separates, or if it's Adley Rutschman, can you still remember that you're Adley Rutschman? Like, that to me is the most intriguing part about this, because I do think it requires at least 2 to 3 more of those guys stepping up and becoming that for this team to be able to compete for a championship moving forward.
No, I agree. I agree, and I'm glad you mentioned Westberg. I can't believe I didn't mention him, but even he is a question mark about his durability.
Sure,
I mean,
the health, right.
We all look at him and say, wow, if he was able to be out there for 150-plus games, this guy's going to be a stud. And we've said it ever since he's been in the big leagues, but unfortunately, that injury bug has kind of followed him around. So, yeah, there are question marks there. Colton Cowser, last year he showed these incredible signs of just being a monster, and the inconsistencies have shown up again this season, along with the injuries. So, yeah, there are so many question marks, I think, with a lot of these so-called foundational players right now. And there you go. And that's why I think this offseason, you may need – I mean, they really do. There are a lot of players. If they want to jump back into the playoff picture and compete, wholeheartedly, as well as I do, they're going to need more pitching. They're going to need a whole new bullpen, and they're definitely going to need some pieces to replace the numbers that they just lost with all the trades, because those were pretty impact pieces. When you took them away, the Orioles offense has had to do a lot more for sure.
Mike Bordick is with us here on GCR. Bordy, a couple weeks ago, the Orioles said they didn't want to move Colton Cowser to center field when Cedric Mullins was dealt, the way that a lot of us expected they would, because they wanted him to stay in left field and focus on his offense and getting the bat back together. Yesterday, we saw him play center field. Do you want to see more of Colton Cowser playing center field, or do you think it's better for him to stay where he was and just prioritize, again, returning to the form that we saw a year ago and not worrying about kind of learning or moving positions as well?
Yeah, no, I thought it was laughable that Cowser didn't play center field as soon as Mullins, left to go to the Mets. And their excuses, I thought, were laughable. I mean, thinking that Carlson was going to is a better center fielder than what we all thought was going to be the future out there.
Although give Carlson credit, because he's hit all of a sudden. All of a sudden, he's become
all of a sudden, but in the midst of while he was playing center field, he was 0 for 35.
Yeah, correct.
Even more reason why you should have, put Cowser out there. And Cowser was playing incredible defense too. So, I hope, he's written in every night out there so we can really see what he can do. Maybe it'll help him relax a little bit too. I feel like he really wants to play center field to show his athleticism a little bit, because he does have a strong arm, although maybe not quite as accurate. But, as much as we love Cedric, the one thing that was really missing was that strong arm out there. And I think if the Orioles can get some good arms to solidify their defense throughout the outfield, they should be a pretty strong, formidable defense. I think this year outfield defense has definitely been lacking.
Tony Mansolino says that Samuel Basallo is going to be the backup catcher for now. How would you be handling that? Like, if I know that once upon a time managing was something that you were interested in. How would you be handling that when Basallo, I think we all know the priority is the bat, and there have been questions about whether or not he really can be a catcher? What does this look like for you in trying to get him adjusted as a major league hitter, but wanting to keep his value as also being able to catch?
Yeah, I feel like they have to be careful here, because he hasn't really done a lot of catching. And I think, you definitely don't want to crush the poor kid's confidence, but there again, if he's in the big leagues, you got to see what you have. Can he actually handle major league pitching? Does he understand, what goes on, as far as the scouting, what he has to know, understanding each pitcher and their tendencies and their strengths and weaknesses. And so it'll definitely be challenging, but there again, we've all got to find out. I've never seen him catch. I've heard there's some deficiencies there, but also he's been banged up. So basically he's just done a lot of hitting. So, and I think the bat will potentially play, but he is just another young player that's going to go through the ups and downs. Give him some exposure behind the plate for sure. I mean, if you've got him here, and from what I understand, if you want to learn for the Orioles, you learn in the big leagues, because some of these guys aren't getting quite the player development down there. So I think it's good that Manzolino's got him here. The big league, coaches can work with these guys on a daily basis. They've made Mayo much better already over at first base, and probably just the fact that he's playing on a more regular basis. But all that stuff, this exposure, this experience at the major league level, will all help these guys. It will help them settle in a little bit and understand really what it takes. And I think probably more important than anything is developing a really solid major league working routine that will not only challenge these young guys, but help them kind of raise their own personal bar just a little bit every day to try to make themselves better pros, just a better, well-rounded athletes. I think we've seen a lot of these young guys come up there, and it seems like they're missing, one or two ingredients that typically get developed in the minor leagues. So hopefully they can mark that and develop it quickly at the highest level.
Bordy, you and I, it's been so long since you and I have talked that we really haven't talked about this version of Trevor Rogers yet, which is wild. Are you convinced that Trevor Rogers is a frontline major league pitcher based on what this sample size? I'm so struggling with it because I can't deny that it's happening. It's real, but I don't know yet that if somebody said, okay, when I put your rotation together for 2026, that I'd be confident putting Trevor Rogers any higher than the third spot in the rotation because it is such a small sample size. What do we make of it?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm really glad he's going through this, stretch that we can't quite figure out because it's better than anybody in the major league.
It's unreal.
This is a pretty historic run he's on right now. Listen, a few years ago, he was an all-star, second, I think, in Rookie of the Year voting back in 2021. He had a very similar first half of the season, and then some injuries, just some things happened along the way, and it derailed him, I think, more mentally than anything else. And I know we've talked about this time and time again. The true separator at the major league level many times isn't the talent. It's just how you can compartmentalize the game, the mental challenges that are faced on and off the field, but especially just from a baseball standpoint, dealing with the social media, the hecklers, the people screaming at you for the gambling stuff and all this and that. Anyway, some guys handle it very well. Some guys don't. And we interviewed Rogers on our podcast, a Be More Baseball podcast, and he specifically talked about his mental adjustments and his ability to execute and stay in the moment pitch by pitch. Now, not only him, but Dean Kramer has also taken that bull by the horns in much of the same way. A pitch-by-pitch mentality, the more like this is my game kind of attitude, and understanding the importance of each pitch. And with that said, and I know I'm jumping off Rogers a little bit, but if you really looked at the Orioles starting pitchers here for the last few weeks, they have been outstanding. And I'm talking getting deep into ball games like we haven't seen in years. No. And not many teams do this. Now, my point is, I think Manzolino, whether he intended to or not, or if it was just because of the need, because the bullpen has been just so terrible, when he took over, Dean Kramer, I specifically remember a start, and Manzolino saying, go ahead, you got this. And it was like right at the time where Brandon Hyde would always pull him out, right? 5 and dive, get him out of there. And Kramer would always shake his head like, "What? One of these days, please just let me go out there and finish this inning." And sure enough, he let him do it. And he's let him do it ever since. And his pitch counts are now going up over 100. He's fighting through the third time through. And I feel like this stuff is contagious, almost to the point where they're letting these starters say, okay, this is your game. If you're in trouble in the third inning, you get yourself out of it and try to go as deep as you can because, first of all, you're learning how to pitch and adapt and adjust. And second of all, our bullpen is just, we can't trust them. So please go as far as you can. And every one of these guys is doing it. I mean, we are seeing some really remarkable performances. You have to admit this by all the pitchers. And what Brandon Young did the other day, the perfect game. Are you kidding me? I mean, they just keep passing the baton. It's a lot of fun to watch. And I think they're all just in a really good, confident mental state.
That's interesting. It's a really interesting dive in there. The Brandon Young thing was insane. And you can only hope that he can build off of that, right? Like, that's the only thing you can hope, that is the first of many tremendous Brandon Young performances that we have coming.
Right. If nothing else, it makes me feel better about the depth. Go ahead out there, please, and get 2 more or 3 more starting pitchers. As as deep in the rotation as you can.
No doubt.
1 and 2 if you want, right? Because we got a couple guys coming back. but it's that depth, and we see it through every organization. I really believe that the biggest reason why there's so much parity this year is because of all the injuries in the game. It has just brought every organization to their knees, and you take what you get, and you hope that a AAA guy can make it through. And there's just been an incredible amount of up and downs, right, all season long with these organizations.
Bordy, first of all, say hello to the dogs for us. And then second of all, we got to do the whole rundown. I know you already referenced the podcast, but Jerry will be mad if you don't say it 3 more times. So the podcast, the League of Dreams, give me the whole, everything you got. Let's run through all of it.
Oh, my goodness. Thanks for letting me do this. Okay, yeah, the Be More Baseball podcast. You can check it out. It's the Be More Sports Pod on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. We've had some tremendous guests. A couple weeks ago, we had Ryan Flaherty, who potentially could be the next Orioles manager. He's, obviously the bench coach for the Cubs. This week, we've got, how about this, Rafael Palmeiro.
Oh, very cool.
So pretty interesting, right? I mean, kind of controversial, but, this week, or not this week, next month, Cal's celebration, 21-31. Of course, he pushed Cal out of the dugout. So really good interview right there. So, yeah, the Be More Baseball podcast with Coleman has been a lot of fun all summer long. And we're going to keep going right through the postseason, too. League of Dreams has just been an outstanding year. We just had some wonderful news. We are going to put up 2 STEM centers in a couple schools, one down in Annapolis, one hopefully in Catonsville. And all in the League of Dreams name. So good things happening there. Make sure you check it out at leagueofdreams.org. Our partnership continues to grow with the community colleges here in the Baltimore area. So having a blast there. And, of course, our summer clinic series just coming to an end with the Baseball Warehouse, always going out and doing good things, teaching kids the right way to play the game and how to enjoy it and have fun. So thanks for letting me give those plugs. Really appreciate it. And, of course, Baltimore baseball tonight, man. We're not over till the season's over. So check us out on 105.7 The Fan.
Love you, Bordy. Always appreciate you. We'll make sure it's not 2 months again before we're catching up with you.
Sounds good.
Thank you for taking the time.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Mike Bordick with us here on GCR. Appreciate him as always. Why don't we do this? Because I still have like 75 things on the list that we needed to get to today. One of the things we talked about, so we said last week we were experimenting with this 11 a.m. start. But one of the things I do think we're going to do is we're going to adjust so that some days we try to do 60 minutes and other days we make it 90. Because I recognize there are just some days where there's a lot going on. So I dig that. We're not going to try to bombard you with guests. We want to do more show as well. I don't remember who it was. It might have been Tim from Bel Air who said to me last week, what you can't do is get rid of the part where you guys bicker. It's important.
We never
that
fight.
You keep that.
What's he talking about?
Botches and all that sort of stuff. So, but yeah, what we'll do, since we were talking Orioles, let's transition right in, and we'll do this since it's a Monday.
Three up
and 3 down.
3 Up and 3 Down is brought to you this week by Game Day Men's Health in Owings Mills, Columbia, and Frederick. Normally, after I play Slip Cup, which for those of you that aren't aware, it's a 100-foot slip and slide that leads down to a game of Flip Cup at the bottom. It's a relay race. It's great, but I'm also going to be 42 in a couple of weeks. And when I was doing this when I was 27, I would badly hurt myself. The last couple of years, I was still feeling it like a week later. This year, I don't really even feel all that sort of day.
Wow.
Again, it's not a magic act that they're doing over at Game Day Men's Health. It's not.
Okay.
But for me, it's been peptide protein, and it's just helped me, again, get a little pep. Just feel a little bit more like myself. And so whether it's that or if you might be low T, they got complementary testosterone tests. Just find out. If you've been feeling sluggish, run down. I did. I thought I might be low T. Truth was, I'm not. They were still able to help me. But they definitely have treatment for you if you are. if you're dealing with performance issues in the bedroom, erectile dysfunction. You don't normally like walking in or getting together with a group of friends. You know what didn't happen when I gathered everybody on Saturday? No one approached me and said, "Hey, Glenn, great to see you, man." And I said, "Hey, how things been going?" They were like, "Yeah, everything's been all right except for I can't please my wife anymore." No one said that to me because no one ever wants to talk about that. If you're dealing with it, it's real. There's a safe space for you to talk about it. It's Game Day Men's Health. Give them a phone call. Oh, it's even stubborn belly fat, stuff like that just won't go away. They got you covered. Owings Mills, 443-264-4454. Columbia, 443-266-3505. Frederick, 240-931-3717. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health. We begin with the down. Orioles went 4-2 this week. There were two to me that were easy, and then one that was a little bit more difficult. And that ended up being Yennier Cano, just because he did his damnedest, didn't he? He did his damnedest to try to
try and lose the game. You mean
ruin the fun? Did his damnedest. Credit the Birds for fighting back and getting the walk-off, but you take a 2-run lead to the ninth inning, that shouldn't be the case. So, in a week where it was tough, and obviously he had a much better appearance on Saturday. Was it Saturday where he came in?
He only pitched one more time.
Yeah,
than the rest of
but not great. He's number 3.
It sounds like we'll probably have an identical down list then. Yennier Cano is number 3, obviously. Yes, Wednesday night was not good after another Trevor Rogers gem. He came in and tried to just kind of melt that away, and did, I guess. Fortunately, they were able to walk it off. So I guess maybe he did it on purpose. He was trying to
that must have been set up to finally get rid of the walk-off, right?
He must have got the bet in. The Orioles will have a walk-off.
$10,000.
Let's do it tonight.
Yeah, right. Number 2, it was hard to separate these two guys. I guess one maybe you'd still have more expectations for, but I don't even know if that's true at this point. Number 2 is Kobe Mayo. Obviously, he did hit a home run. That's the only reason he's probably not number 1.
It was a Crawford Box's home run. So
it was. That's true. But 3 for 23 for the week.
Yeah.
Just not. It's very frustrating that we were clamoring for Kobe Mayo playing time. And then the O'Hearn trade really clears the way for that, and he just hasn't taken advantage of it, and that's just a bummer.
I mean, I still think he's looked better, overall. He's showing more defensively than I think maybe we thought he could have had.
I'm not going to suddenly say stop playing Kobe Mayo. I want to make that abundantly clear.
He struck out 9 times this week as well, including right after the Dylan Beavers leadoff double in the ninth inning. On Saturday. So Kobe Mayo's number 2.
Yeah, really frustrating that you get the leadoff runner on second base. Although they had a leadoff runner on second base in 4 consecutive innings and failed to score a run.
Yeah,
that ain't great. Adley's number 1. There's no getting around it. He OPS 260 for the week.
Just hit the ball straight into the dirt every time.
You wanted to say there have been some positive signs since he returned. You wanted to say, hey, he looks more comfortable. But it's just a lot more of the same right now, man. And it's very tough. It's a very tough conversation.
And now that you got guys, you got Mayo, you got Beavers, you got Basallo, it's hard to keep justifying him being a top 4 bat as well.
Almost impossible. Almost impossible. The difficult part was, to me, there were 2 that had to be on the up list, and then there were a bunch of guys that could be the 3rd. And so I have to offer apologies to most of these guys. I have to apologize to Jeremiah Jackson, for example, who had a really great week.
Was he like batting 500?
Something like that. He had a really great week.
Jeremiah Jackson, 7 for 15, 467.
I can't believe I left him off my list. I have to apologize to Trevor Rogers, the best pitcher in baseball.
But this is what we expected of him. So
I even have to apologize to Jordan Westberg.
I couldn't. I'm not apologizing to him.
I understand. I thought it would have been recency bias. You take away yesterday, his week was okay. He had a great day to cap an okay week. And I know
you like how it felt like they were harping on, like blaming Saturday night on Jordan Westberg almost. Did that? I didn't feel that at all either.
I didn't feel that.
I mean,
no.
Should he have come home? Maybe, but it was going to be a bang play. I think you got to think you can turn 2 there. And
I mean,
they made the right play.
It was very close.
They also had, as we just said, they also had 4 chances to try and win the
game.
Yeah,
that to me. There's no blaming anybody because you had a runner on second base and no outs in the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th innings. That's it. You didn't score a run. How does that happen? I almost would like to know if there's any precedent to a team having 4 consecutive innings with a runner on second base nobody out. And I get it, this is a very unique circumstance because of the extra inning rule, but has that ever happened before? That they have had a team has had 4 consecutive innings with a runner on second base and nobody out and failed to score 1 run. It's unreal. So no, I cannot join you on the Jordan Westbrook.
I don't want to.
Not you. Yeah, whoever it is.
But just because just the way Mansolino talked about it, he was like, yeah, he made a mistake there, and I was like, did he? I mean,
I don't know.
He turns 2, they're out of the inning.
Correct. It's tough. That's tough. Somebody OPS'd 1464 this
You're
week.
Going with this guy, really?
Griffin hates him.
I do.
But Dylan Carlson, baby, all of a sudden.
He's a strong word.
Dylan Carlson's number 3
Tyler
for me.
O'Neill.
That's real
I'll
hate.
admit to that. Yeah,
that's
that
real
was,
hate, right?
Jordan Westbrook is my number 3. I mean, yeah,
Look,
he
man.
led the team. Well, yeah, nine hits. Him alongside Dylan Carlson and Jeremiah Jackson. But yeah, I think Jordan Westbrook, and maybe it is recency bias, but he also, maybe it really is recency bias because it does seem like he is the de facto leader as well, like emerging as that both vocal, even though he's not a vocal guy, the like kind of visual leader for this team. So Jordan Westbrook, number 3, and apologies to Trevor Rogers, but.
I feel terrible about it because what more could you ask for Trevor Rogers, really? Number 2 is the guy that threw 15 innings and only gave up a run, and yet somehow he's only number 2 on this list. Dean Kramer was magnificent, obviously. I mean, he was brilliant for 15 innings this week. What else do you say? He was unreal.
Yeah, he was, any other week, he's a clear-cut
obvious number 1,
and
yes.
he went 15 innings, allowed just 1 run, and somehow took a loss still.
That's a bummer, too. That's a bummer.
But, Dean Kramer.
And
we got to play his sound, right?
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Thank you for the reminder.
Pretty good this
Thank
week.
you. It was very good.
Pretty good this week.
Sometimes very good. It was very, very good this week. Shout out Dean Kramer, number 2. But look, man, Brandon Young, he did what he did, number 1. And hopefully there's more of that. So there you go. There's 3 up and 3 down for this week. We'll come back in. We have not really talked about the Ravens.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Don't worry.
I know I did not watch any, but Griffin will break down everything. He wanted to go over the top 25 things he saw from the Ravens-Cowboys game.
I thought you said at 50.
Talk some BMW championship as well, and a controversy afoot in the betting world that I want to discuss. So we'll do that, and then get a tidbit and two. But to wrap it up, it's Glenn Clark Radio.
For fans of the Costas Inn, and who isn't, I have some great news. Now there's a second location to go along with 4100 North Point Boulevard. This one is at the Timonium OTB. This is Stan the Fan, and I have been a fan of the Costas Inn and Triantafalo's family for going on 30 years. They're open for lunch and dinner, same great Costas feel, same great menu and quality food you've been enjoying for well over 50 years. The exact address on your GPS is 2200 York Road, and their phone number at the new location is 667-406-1970. If you're new to the Costas experience, get ready for a real treat. All wrapped up in a new spacious dining room in Timonium at the OTB. If you want steamed crabs, you have them, and the full menu at 4100 North Point Boulevard. The number for reservations there at Costas, 410-477-1975.
This August, give your game day an upgrade at Live Casino. Enter to win an ultimate football package. We're giving away over $50,000 in game-changing prizes on Friday, August 29th. Earn entries daily for your chance to score a 100-inch TV, a state-of-the-art soundbar, and so much more. Don't sit on the sidelines. Make your play at Live Casino at Erndale Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, Bo Smolko profiles Ravens running back Derrick Henry and how the football legend has proven to be a unicorn at the position with the success that he's found after the age of 30. Also inside, Brandon Schwartzberg looks at Kobe Mayo's push to find rhythm at the big league level. And we mark the start of the college football season by meeting players from all 4 FBS and FCS programs throughout the state. Press Box is available for free at over 500 locations throughout the region, including 60 Royal Farm stores. Or you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself? It could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, we specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Our treatments, including testosterone cypionate, are safe, natural, and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Get started today with a free testosterone test and feel the difference. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health, where men reclaim their game.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
All right, back in here on GCR. By the way, it was a big weekend. Not only did Griffin make a celebrity appearance at the pig roast on Saturday, but boy, did he have a big night on Friday night. Man, are you a convert now? Are you going to be the new host of Jobbing Out?
I mean, I'd happy, sure. Yeah.
I mean,
whenever you need a fill-in, let me know.
Right?
You're trying to find it.
I was trying to figure out what you were doing for a second. Griffin went to TNA Emergence, and he decided he wanted to hassle our guy, AJ Francis, that Casey Navarro deserved better. As you know, AJ turned on Casey, kicked him out of first class last week. And you know what? You're right, Griffin. Casey Navarro did deserve better. And this got some run on in the wrestling world over the weekend. That was good.
Yeah,
that was good. So tell me about the experience.
I mean, it was fantastic.
Had you ever been to wrestling?
No, I'd never been to any wrestling thing. So
all right.
So I don't think I'll ever be able to go to another one because.
Well, I heard you got snuck into the front row.
Our boy Ross, he said, "Hey, hit me up when you get in," and so then he just found me, and I was sitting with my friends. It made me look very cool in front of my friends because he was like, "Hey, I think you guys might like these seats better," and he just handed us new ticket stubs and was like, "Go ahead, go down."
That's awesome,
yeah, we were
man.
sitting front row.
That's
whole
so
time.
cool, dude.
It was amazing. I learned about Hometown Man, maybe my new favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
Who just does that's the best. That's the best.
It's
bit
great
probably
shtick.
ever.
Great shtick.
They had Brian Nemeth come out, start talking smack about Baltimore. This place smells, blah blah blah. So we're all booing him, and then boom, Hometown Man comes up. He says, "You can't talk about my hometown like that, man."
Such a good bit. Such a good bit.
And then beats his ass. Yeah.
Such a good bit. Poe got a huge pop.
Yes, he did. Yes,
Poe was very
Poe got a
over.
big pop.
Was very over.
Yeah. The system came out and then showed AJ. Showed AJ
first
how,
class. Yeah.
He kept getting trolled. Somebody else had a sign that said, "It was I prefer Coach anyway."
That's good. That's good. But you had a great time.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Joe Hendry saw me.
Oh, you gave you a little love.
Gave me a point and a wink.
It was a pretty self-fulfilling moment for you.
It was. I needed that. Joe Hendry's obviously the greatest here. I'm trying to get the clip ready so people can see as they show myself up on
at TNA Plus on Friday night.
At TNA Emergence. So here's Joe Hendry coming out, and they'll cut. Actually, I think I need.
Oh, way to go! You screwed it up.
That's all right.
You
just get to watch.
screwed it up.
I'm on the right side, holding up the big sign. Probably making people behind me mad. It was a good sign. We Bo leave.
That was your sign?
No, that wasn't mine. That wasn't mine.
Oh, I was going to say, that's really good.
There.
There you are. There's Griffin. Say his name. That's tremendous. Well done, man. So were any of your boys like wrestling fans, or did you just convince them to go?
Yeah, my one boy was a big wrestling fan, so it was great for him. And then my two other friends weren't big wrestling people.
Yeah,
but they're big event people as well. But they're willing to try something new. And so and my one friend brought his girlfriend as well. And so Brian Nemeth tried to hit on her, and that didn't go. So it was really great when Hometown Man came out.
That's pretty good. We I actually once, when our friend Zach from All Time Low, he was home once, and Monday Night Raw was at the arena at the same time, and I was like, well, look, man, if you want to go, I can get us tickets. We can go. And he was like, yeah, I want to go. And then he said, his girlfriend at the time, he said, I think she wants to go too. And I was like, really? That's dope. Like, no problem. I'll take care of it. She did not want to go. She was willing to go. She did not want to
no.
go.
Her name was Izzy. Izzy was a great sport. She was very.
That's
into
cool.
It.
She was into it.
Yes.
That's
awesome. I think like we all took it for what it was, and it was also.
That's the point. The point is, if you can and it's what I like to think of Baltimore sports fans. You know what it is and what it isn't, and you can appreciate it for what it is, and don't be bamboozled about what it isn't.
Oh my gosh! You know who I love now?
Who?
The concierge.
Oh yeah,
he's hilarious. He's talking to everybody he's talking to everybody while the fights are going, while all the girls are wrestling during that 4-way tag team match.
Yeah.
Great match, by the way. And of course Elegance found a way to win.
But
he was great. He was great just fighting with people in the stands while
that's tremendous.
He's good at what he does.
Good bit.
Yes.
Good bit.
Yes. Love the concierge.
A lot going on this weekend. I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad you went. That's cool.
I absolutely did. Yeah. I'm glad I went.
That's really cool, man. As someone who's been to, I went and watched Ring of Honor tapings for like 5 hours straight at Du Burns Arena in my day and Myers Pavilion. It's wild to see TNA, running buildings like that. That's a great building for them to be in. There were a lot of people there, and the crowd was into it.
Yes.
It was a hot crowd. Loved everything about that. That's really, really cool.
It made me because also, people just wear wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
So, there was more John Cena stuff than anything. So, that was the other thing. I came away walking like, man, it would be really cool to see John Cena live. Before the end of this year. I don't think it's feasible, but I was like, if there was one guy that
I still don't think they've announced where his final match is going to take place. Everybody seems to think it's going to be Boston. That's where he's from.
Okay.
But, you want to start putting together a road trip. Start putting together the plans to maybe we partner with our friends at Be More Around Town and arrange a bus trip to John Cena's last match or something like that. See if we can do that. All right, so that was one of the big things that was going on this weekend. Obviously, another of those big things was the BMW Championship. And I've had a lot of people this might really go down. We might associate Caves Valley with one of the finest moments ever for what might be one of the greatest golfers of all time. As I saw a lot of discourse yesterday about how for all of his success, Scotty Scheffler really didn't have a signature shot. The way that we think about Tiger Woods and the chip at Augusta, right? That we think about for Tiger, I think all the time about the Canadian Open and the shot out of the bunker where he drove the green, which is just the most insane thing I've ever seen. But Scotty Scheffler, after battling back, tied, 17th hole, he and Drew McIntyre still going right at it.
Blow for blow.
I thought Drew might make an appearance. WWE has that relationship with TNA.
Right.
You thought that maybe.
Papa.
Turns out that wasn't the case. But they're battling right up until Scotty Scheffler squeezes the life out of the BMW Championship.
Look at Scheffler. Can you believe what you just saw? Bobby Mack can't.
That's unreal. It was just unreal. Ends up, after trailing by 4 strokes, coming back and winning by 2 strokes, the BMW Championship, his 5th win of the year. Great weekend out of Caves Valley. Look, I know that whenever you're trying to host an event like this, there's always going to be trouble, parking, traffic, things like that. You're going to have to deal with some of that. But for the most part, an unreal week. Everybody continues to rave about Caves as a host for this event. Yes, some of the golf purists don't love the course, even the lengthened course. They want more obstacles. They want wider. They just want
them trouble on Sunday.
They did. Yeah. They did. It looked. By the way, it looked after Friday like the scoring was going to be exactly like it was in 2021. As it turns out, that wasn't the case at all. But great show put on by the folks at Caves. Great show put on by the community and making the BMW Championship happen. And the hope is that there will be more big-time events coming to Caves in the coming years. In the meantime, one of the stories that I thought was really neat from the weekend You might have heard Akshay Bhatia with the hole-in-one on Saturday at number 17, the same hole where Scotty Scheffler chipped in from. I did not know that this was a thing. Oh, John Colson, you were out at 17 when this happened? You can come say something about it. John Colson was hanging out at the BMW Championship this weekend.
Standing right there.
So Akshay Bhatia,
Mm-hmm.
this is courtesy of NBC. Oh, good. All right.
Batia coming off that birdie at 16.
Playing down the hill. The ball stays in the air a long time here. You're going to see a lot of them left to the hole today.
Maybe not Akshay. Chance. And it falls. Akshay Bhatia with a hole-in-one at an incredible hole and an incredible time. And
So did everybody know? Where were you?
I was standing at the tee box.
You were at the tee box.
Right.
So
Lost sight of the ball
Right.
there. But when it hit the green, you could see it because it was a par 3. It wasn't
Yeah,
that
it's not
far
right.
away. So you could see it, and I've been to a million sporting events.
Yeah.
Like you. It was very cool to see this in person. So it starts rolling towards the hole, and you sort of hear that
Murmur,
murmuring.
And
then, of course, the knuckleheads yelling, "Get in the hole!" And then there was a "Baba Booey" and all that stuff. And then it went in, and the place just erupted.
Nuts.
But what was really cool is you could see the 16th hole green from there, and you could see the tee box for the 18th hole.
Yeah.
And it totally disrupts what's going on the other holes.
Oh, sure, because
it's
it's
so loud,
insane, right?
and they're all
Yeah.
in competition. It was very cool. But what happened next? Dustin Johnson was in the next pairing that came up, and he put it into the water.
Oh, and they
and he's muttering F. I'm standing like as close as I am to you. I'm like 3 feet from him. And between us is a green BMW box that they keep a cooler and water and a little trash can in for the golfers. And this guy, he mutters the F-bomb a couple times. He takes his golf club and slams it into the BMW box and busts a hole.
Oh, no.
That was shaped
Oh,
exactly
no.
like the wedge.
Oh, no.
He did.
That's a rough day.
So it was from one extreme to the other in that one hole.
So I did not know before Akshay Bhatia hit the hole-in-one about this hole-in-one Evans Scholarship program that they have, where we always know the BMW Championship benefits the Evans Scholarship program. They've done a wonderful job with that. But for the ace, they donate another scholarship. 7th time BMW has now donated a hole-in-one Evans Scholarship. So there will be a scholarship awarded, and we've met some of these people before that are working in golf, that are trying to get a path forward, and they will award an Evans Scholar in Akshay Bhatia's name.
And those scholars are that's for 4 years, I think.
Oh, yes, 100. It's a big
all
deal.
yeah.
And they choose really special people. Like, really, I've had some of these conversations. I'm like, wow, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Like, they choose really special people for these Evans Scholarships. So that's awesome. He also gets a BMW, which he's giving to his caddy. Just a really neat moment in the course of a golf tournament. A really, really neat moment. You had a great time?
Yeah, it's very cool. It was hot.
Yeah, I mean, no, they can't do anything about that.
Yeah, you know what? The crowd was cool. It was really well run. The only issue, which you mentioned, they can't deal with. There's nothing when you're doing an event at a country club.
Correct.
It's not built.
It's
with
not
thousands of
the
parking
infrastructure
spaces.
isn't there for.
The infrastructure was beautiful. You just have to be patient for the
Correct.
parking.
That's the way it's going
It
to
was
work.
worth it. It was all good.
I appreciate the fact that everybody involved with the PGA, the players, everybody seems to love it. Everybody raves about Caves Valley and the experience, and the fact that the community is really into it, and really supportive of the event. Like, it's something you hear from the players all the time. It's like, we love coming here because
People from all over too, man. They traveled,
100%, man.
New York and Virginia and South Carolina. I mean, we're talking.
I'm really everybody keeps flirting with the idea of maybe Caves could be in play for a Ryder Cup. Like that would be electric.
Yes, it
would be electric to have a Ryder Cup.
Tell
at
John
Caves.
Moon to get that in.
All right, yeah, have him, Matt Lund, start working on that now. Thank you, John Colson. Appreciate it. Yeah, good show put on at the BMW Championship. Great stuff. All right. We haven't talked at all about the Ravens game. It's already 12:26.
I know. What's wrong with us? This is the sport.
Everybody's
The Orioles were actually pleasant this week, so it was tough. It was tough to focus on the Rams because the Orioles were actually pleasant.
So a couple of weird things. Obviously, Adisa Isaac gets hurt. Looks like he's going to start the season on IR. Most people seem to think that opens up a roster spot for David Ajabo.
That's what I was thinking.
But it's not a certainty that they keep, even if, as we said before, like they kept 3 edge rushers a few years back. It's not a certainty that they keep 5 edge rushers.
And a guy that's made it problematic, that was my first talk. Rasheen Ali looks really good.
Well, and apparently is on the team.
Too good.
John Harbaugh said after the game, was asked a question about Rasheen Ali, and basically said, we're planning on keeping 4 running backs.
Wow.
That's
Plus
our plan.
Ricard, so like 5.
Right, correct. Right. Now, where could that come from? I think a couple people pointed out maybe Charlie Kohler starts on IR, and they only go with 2 tight ends. And that's where, or they only go 9 offensive linemen when everybody assumed they were keeping 10.
Right. That seems like the more
right.
Just because none of these linemen have been impressive, and they think they can probably retain a lot of them.
Stash them on the practice squad, right, and have them be options. All of these things could be in play. It's just, it was a bit surprising. I think a lot of us also, when we saw that, were like, oh, does that mean that Keaton Mitchell is not a certainty? But in the same press conference, he said Keaton Mitchell will be ready to go by the season opener. So, don't know exactly what it means. But you would think the most likely thing is that Adisa Isaac's injury opens up a spot on the initial 53-man roster for David Ajabo. But if they're still prioritizing Adisa Isaac, this is not a season-ending injury. I get it. Stuff happens. Other guys get hurt. But that might be something they have to deal with at some point. If they were, I would also say if they were leaning towards trading David Ajabo, I don't know that Adisa Isaac getting hurt changes those plans. If they were not confident that David Ajabo is going to be a game changer and they had heard from like the Seahawks that, maybe we could swap, it might be that they just sort of say, we're going to take the value that we can take at this point. And again, we can use the roster spot in another way because Adisa Isaac, when he comes back, is going to be ahead of David Ajabo, and so we're just not going to change all of our plans based on one short-term injury. I don't know. I still struggled with whether or not they would actually do that, but you would think there is a path for David Ajabo now to make the roster.
It does. It feels that way.
Internet having their way with Ben Cleveland a week after having their way. Last week, Daniel Faalele was the whipping boy. This year, this week, Ben Cleveland gets to be. Although Daniel Faalele apparently graded out quite well for Saturday night.
I think he had like 10 snaps or something. Or no, 20 snaps. Sorry. Yeah, he had 20 snaps, and he looked pretty good. He apparently was much. He was like he didn't allow pressure, so he was much better in pass blocking. Apparently, his run blocking grade wasn't good, but
okay.
But yeah,
this was not a good moment for Ben Cleveland, and the internet has had some fun with it. I think Cole Jackson shared this originally. Yeah, not great. Not great. Getting blown up, and it happens. I don't know what.
Sam's piling
Sam's
on.
getting hungry. He's getting hungry. We got to get him over to Chick-fil-A pretty soon. But yeah, any other takeaways that you had from Saturday?
Tyler Loop seems to pass the eye test.
So he did miss the
50-yarder.
50-yarder, right?
Yeah, but he made
it. Was also
one.
very weird after the game where John Harbaugh was like, "Yeah, he's our kicker." Like there was,
right.
But we know that, John. You got rid of the other guy. There was no competition to win.
But yeah, he's gonna be the kicker. Like it's like it doesn't. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think he's gonna be a butcher. But
So he made 5 kicks on Saturday.
Correct. Yeah.
And 2 of them were 50 plus. Like there was a 51 and a 52, I think.
Correct. And then he missed one. And yeah, he had like an out of bounds on a kickoff, but I think that was like very clearly him trying to work on like pinning them somewhere.
Okay.
So he did have an out of bounds on the kickoff, but it looked like that wasn't, it didn't look like they were all too concerned. It was just like, him just talking with Randy Brown and afterwards, like what did you miss there? Devin Leary, he's the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my life. Tez Walker looks like he could be a competent receiver. He played like the first quarter and then some. He didn't play a ton, but they were like force feeding him in that first quarter, and he looked pretty good. He stood out much better compared to the other pass catchers that were on the field. Like LaJohte Wester did not look good as a wide receiver. I think he's still going to have a very significant role in special teams, but he did not look like. I think he had a drop in there, and he just the interception, they were targeting Wester, and he like just never got his head around like it was, or the pick six I should say, that specific play, he just never got his head around. So Tez Walker looked like the best receiver on the field yesterday or Saturday. Ernest Johnson's really bad. Myles Gaskin looks like he wants a job in the NFL, despite getting limited touches. As we were talking about the O-line not looking good, Corey Bullock does look pretty good, and I think he's almost got his roster spot pretty much locked up.
Interesting.
Like he played a ton, and he played very well.
Interesting.
And everybody's only been saying good things about him. Aeneas Peebles was fun to watch. He looks quick.
There was some talk about whether or not Bo Braid is definitely on the roster.
Yeah, there just hasn't been a whole lot of talk about him. I should have pulled up maybe the full grades just because that gives us a better picture of like the full snaps. There was a fun graphic. I think.
I did see Jonas share that. You're right. I did see that. Yeah.
There we go. So maybe it's not great for looking at on the screen like this, but yeah, Jonas shared a like snaps breakdown for every player on Twitter. But yeah, you can see. Offensive line wise, Linderbaum, Emory Jones was hurt, but yeah, Falele played. He's played like the first 2-3 series. Corey Bullock played the entire first half and then didn't play the second half. And then Dellinger played a lot. Ben Cleveland played the two middle quarters, and then you guys at the bottom who, Samac played 2 quarters it looks like, and then Dalcourt and then the Jared Penning, and Reed Holsky. Reed Holsky played the fourth quarter.
Definitely someone I've heard of.
Yeah,
definitely.
Once we got to the fourth quarter, they were definitely there. I don't know if a single guy was, the Tyler Loop. I guess it's the only guy that is a starter out there. But yeah, I mean the O-line didn't look all that good, but Corey Bullock did. So that looks like a fun story at least for here, and may be the 6th offensive lineman. Like Ben Cleveland just got put on his butt. So
it wasn't great.
Aeneas Peebles I liked. He looked very good. Helped force a couple sacks. He drew like a triple team at one point, which was hilarious. Like I mean he's got a Kamon Rucker and a Chandler Martin next to him, and they're like, all right, well, let's triple team Aeneas Peebles then because he looked good. He looked quick off the line. TJ Tampa, I'm not sure about his spot either. Like that, like the back end of the secondary, there's a lot of question marks. Like as you mentioned, Bo Braid, TJ Tampa didn't play all that great. Like he played, I had the snaps up, but he played a ton of the game. Like he played over half the game, and the only guy on defense that had more snaps than him was some other guy named Marquise Robinson, who was a corner, as well. Yes. So I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign that TJ Tampa's playing, almost 75% of a preseason game.
I don't think it's a good thing.
I am excited. I guess this can be our last point. I am very excited about year 2 of Zach Orr. I think the defense just, even though it is a preseason game and half these guys aren't going to be football players this year, it seems like he's just much more comfortable. He called a safety blitz on 3rd down at the negative. That's how they got the safety. The Cowboys took a safety because he called a safety blitz on like 3rd and 8 at the -2 yard line.
Love it.
Love it. Yeah, they were just super aggressive.
It's preseason football. I don't care. All right, thank you.
But I do like that. Jay Higgins, he'll be fun on the practice squad. He looks good. He looks good.
I've heard a lot of positive things about him.
I just don't know what his roster spot is unless it hasn't looked like Teddy Buchanan and Trenton Simpson are seizing that second linebacker spot, but I don't think you're cutting. Neither of them are. No. One of those two is playing a lot.
All right, very good. Thank you for that. It is worth pointing out the Ravens announced today they're going to have 2 anniversary-themed games this year. They will be doing the 30th anniversary celebration. This is year number 30. Their first season was 96. So this is year number 30, not the 30th anniversary of the first season, but year number 30, and they're going to do something with that on the first home game, September 14th, against the Browns. What that will be, what that entails, I'm sure it'll have a lot of guys coming back. But they're also going to do on December 7th, for the Steelers game, the 25th anniversary of the Super Bowl 35 championship team. So presumably those guys will be back for that. So I don't know all the details. By the way, that's a late in the season game to do like a homecoming kind of bit. Like normally you try to do those a little bit earlier on in the year because you don't want to run the risk of the team not being very good at that point and that kind of sucking the life out.
Yeah, is it weird that they do it against the Steelers too? Because that game's going to be...
You would think that they want Ray Lewis to be there. They want, they want all of that. Although it's not, some of the legends of the Steelers. Like, that's the funny part. The Super Bowl 35 team had no rivalry with the Steelers. Their rival was the Tennessee Titans. It's the Super Bowl 47 team that was in the throes of the Steelers rivalry. So kind of ironic that that's the way that it works out for doing the celebration. All right, today's show is also brought to you by County Sports Zone, countysports.zone. We're here. It's high school sports season, man. And every score, every schedule, every team, every sport all across the state, find it at countysports.zone, proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com. Do you want to show the Victor Robles thing real quick? Just wrap with this. The most absurd thing from the weekend. Now, I get it. There's a story behind this. Victor Robles is rehabbing currently. I don't remember what the name of the team is that he is with.
He's on the Reno Aces, I think.
Reno Aces, thank you. And he got, in 2 games, hit by 4 pitches. Now, that is crazy. But it's what it is. Like, that happens. He, not okay with the fact that had happened. But didn't handle it in the most appropriate way. And Victor Robles is probably not going to be returning to baseball. He's going to have to get suspended pretty seriously for this action. Yeah, got hit by the pitch. All right, take it. Oh, my God! You can't do that, dude!
I'm trying to find the extent because there's more to it as well.
Yeah, he ends up back in the dugout. Well, here you go. Yeah, he's in the dugout, and then he comes in and throws the cooler. But this isn't what gets you suspended. You don't get suspended for throwing the cooler.
The slow-mo replay.
You got to get suspended, and probably for a good bit, for throwing a bat at a pitcher. You can't do that.
Sam, you're not supposed to do that, okay?
Yeah. When you play baseball, don't throw your bat. God, oh, man, Sam. Whew, we had a situation last week. We were setting up the hydration station, and somebody forgot their brother was nearby, and they were swinging around something and got conked in the head. Did that happen? No, that definitely didn't happen. Oh, boy. All right, we got to wrap up. Yeah, Victor Robles, you can't do that. Oh, yeah, this was neat. I don't know anything about this story, and I'd like to dive into it. I don't know if we could reach out to them and see if we can find out. But Kanata Mumfield from the Rams scores a touchdown in the preseason and does the Choppa City Juke, the legendary Jacoby Jones dance. And I would assume that's in honor of the late Jacoby Jones. But I don't know what the relationship would be, what the story would be. So I do have to look into that. But that was a really neat moment from the weekend as well. All right. Tidbit is brought to you today by the print issue of Pressbox. It is available everywhere where you find Pressbox throughout town, including 60 Royal Farm stores. But everywhere you go, all the boxes, it's there. Pick up this new print issue of Pressbox. Derrick Henry on the cover. Great story from Bo Smolka about the unicorn that is Derrick Henry and the success that he's finding at running back after 30. Also, great college sports stuff in there, fall sports focus. We meet football players from all the D1 programs and soccer players from those schools that don't have football programs. Just a lot of fall college sports in this print issue of Pressbox, which is now available, and you can always read it all, pressboxonline.com.
So Scotty won his 5th win as well on the tour this year, so that makes it back-to-back years that Scotty has at least five wins on the PGA Tour. First golfer to do that since 2007. When some guy named
Tiger Woods
won back-to-back. Tiger Woods did it 6 times in his career. Had back-to-back seasons of 5+ wins on the tour. So Scotty just did that for the first time since anyone named Tiger Woods did it. So congrats to Scotty again. A good weekend at the BMW. Then we did allude to it. Dean Kramer, a career high 114 pitches yesterday, most by an Oriole since Chris Tillman on July 4th of 2012.
Oh, that was of course against the Blue Jays.
Seattle, also AL West. Yeah, they just love beating up on the AL West. 125 pitches by Tillman in that game. He went in 8 1/3 in the win for the Orioles. How many guys in that 2012 July 4th 2012 lineup?
Oh boy, Adam.
Adam. I mean, yeah, he had to be. Now my thing doesn't want to live.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, can we save it?
No. We have to get it in now.
Can we please?
No, because you're gonna look it up and then you're gonna.
I gotta take my son.
He'll live. Yeah, who was on the 2012 Orioles, Sam?
Chris Davis.
Yeah, he was on there.
Markakis.
Yeah, I guess I'll wait and let this page.
All right, no, we got to go. We got to go. I got to get him. I got to get him fit.
Internet.
We got to get him. I got to get him fit. Remind me. We'll do it tomorrow. I'm going to forget it by the time I walk out the door to get him lunch.
What it is? It's Baseball Reference's fault.
It's their fault.
I can't have more than 2 tabs open if I want to look at something on Baseball Reference.
Tubular is brought to you by the Maryland Cycling Classic. Get ready, Baltimore. On Saturday, September 6th, the world's top pro cyclists return for the Maryland Cycling Classic, America's top pro road race. Cheer on elite men's and women's teams from around the globe as they battle it out on a brand new circuit through Charm City. Enjoy a free festival, fan zones, and all of the action at Harbor Point and the Inner Harbor. Watch live on Maryland Public TV or join the live stream at marylandcyclingclassic.us. Don't miss the speed, the strategy, the spectacle. The Maryland Cycling Classic, September 6th in Baltimore. By the way, the Orioles, obviously, they're playing this short 2-game series in Boston. Trevor Rogers on the mound tonight, 7-10 against Dustin May on Masson. Before that, you get Yannick Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz playing a tennis match at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Just on a Monday afternoon, minding their own business, you're going to get Sinner Alcaraz, which is a good bit.
What's going on?
Nothing's going on. Don't worry about it. Ignore it. But yeah, Sinner Alcaraz today, 3 o'clock on the Tennis Channel in the Cincinnati Open final. Women's final is Yasmin Paolini and Iga Swiatek at 6 o'clock. So those are very good. Everything else, go to glennclarkradio.com. Anything non-sports-wise?
Sam, you might be into this. Lego Masters Jr. new series on Fox.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
All right.
Then Hulu has a new series called Are You My First?
I don't know.
So it's another dating show. It's from the same makers, same producers as Love Island. But Are You My First? So they are all virgins apparently.
All right.
Looking for intimacy and love. I don't know if they're all really good looking people.
Yeah. So you're struggling to believe it.
Yeah, I am struggling to believe it. They all seem relatively. I think this is a fun idea, but it doesn't. They look like it just looks like it's Love Island.
All right.
Again,
all right.
But yeah, that's on Hulu.
Very good. That it?
That's it.
Live Casino and Hotel is the best place to watch all the big events, inside sports and social, the 100-foot media wall. Thursday.
Hopefully
we can spend a minute.
Yeah.
Thanks today to Mike Mayock. Thanks also to Mike Bordick. We'll get that up in the greatest hits section of the Say His Name and He Appears.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Tab at glennclarkradio.com. Anything tomorrow?
All our normal Tuesdays.
Stuff in the maybe we'll try to do an hour tomorrow. Hey, on Wednesday we're going to be doing a special live show from down in College Park at Maryland football practice. We will be doing a live show. Mike Loxley will join us. New AD Jim Smith will join us. But looking forward to being down there on Wednesday live from College Park. And now that Griffin hangs out there all the time, he'll we drink for free, right? Down there.
Yeah, I guess so. As soon as I walk into Bentley's,
Just wanna make sure. I thought
this
that was
guy.
the case. Very good. All right. Thanks to everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including the Maryland Cycling Classic, as well as Live Casino and Hotel, Game Day Men's Health, County Sports Zone, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com, the Maryland 5-star BMW Championship. Appreciate them being a part of what we've been doing. And 1-800-GAMBLER, helpmygambling.org. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great Monday evening. Go Birds. Duke sucks.